I'm Jasmine. I'm just a girl. I'm not a guru. But today we're going to talk about how to be confident. So a lot of people, they think confidence comes from a lot of external things, like beauty, appearance, outfits, luxury bags. I think society thinks that confidence is a lot of external and not internal. And that's where the issue starts. Yeah, most definitely, yes, we can have confidence that does come from our external. I know I'm very confident in how I look, how I put myself together, how I carry myself, but confidence truly starts from within. So if you're not confident, then watch this video and hopefully you can get some tips on how to build your confidence. It is something that can take a little bit of time, especially if you're coming from maybe like a low self-worth place or you have a lot of insecurities. And it's completely okay to have insecurities. We're human. Nobody's perfect. It's okay to have insecurities, but there's a difference between having insecurities and being an insecure person. There's no one on this earth that doesn't have any insecurities, but ultimately you can still be a confident person who has insecurities instead of being an insecure person. So the number one thing about when it comes to confidence, I think resilience truly breeds confidence. I look back at a lot of times in my life where I've been through some more difficult situations. There were situations where I'm not sure I would get out of it, and getting to that other side made me resilient. So knowing that I can go through something difficult and come out on the other side okay and even better, that definitely boosts my confidence. And I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos, but I used to be engaged, and going through that breakup, I knew I would be okay because of other things that I've gone through in life. I knew this was just a blip on the radar, to be honest. I know I'm gonna be okay because I always have been, and it always works out. There's not been a time in my life where it hasn't worked out for the best. Before the job that I have now, I was supposed to start another job, but that job fell through, and this was after I had left my other job. So there was a very brief moment where I was unemployed and I was super stressed. So I started applying to more jobs. So I had applied at the company that I'm at now, and I started like at the lower ranking, and I started working my way up, and I got a couple of promotions within a year, and I'm now making more than I would have made at my previous job that I was planning to take. So it's really about reframing your mindset and looking back at the data of when you did, make it through certain difficult situations and you made it out okay. Another way to increase confidence is to be very mindful of the content that you consume. I know a lot of us, we're on social media, and sometimes we might not be consuming the best content. We might be consuming relatable content that really is lowering your self-esteem. Even if it's joking, you're still consuming it and subconsciously thinking like, oh my gosh, yeah, I am a loser, ha ha ha, but it's done in a funny way, so it's not outright calling you a loser, and you're just like, oh yeah, I do relate to this. So being very mindful of the content that you consume is a way to increase your confidence. I would also suggest start consuming more content that increases your confidence. For example, if you're scrolling through social media, follow people who are empowering you, who are telling you you can do better, you are a good person, you can be successful. Read books that are all about self-improvement and self-empowerment, things that will change your mindset for the better. Change the music you listen to. Again, all about empowerment. If you're listening to music that's very low vibrational, very depressing, you're going to be low vibrational and very depressed. But if you're listening to music or even like watching TV, again, consuming content, this could be on YouTube, this could be on TikTok, it could literally be any content that you're consuming. Whatever you're consuming, you need to make sure that it is getting you to where you need to be or want to be. So if you're insecure, you need to cut out all of the content that's making you more insecure. Even if you're following people who make you insecure, like say they have your perfect body type and it's making you feel very insecure because you think you cannot have that body type. First, I think that's a mindset issue, but if it's every time you see them on your screen and you just get this like ache in your gut, unfollow them. Yes, they can be motivation, but they're not motivating you to be better and to get your dream body if you're getting that reaction out of them. Literally curate your feed in your life to match where you want to be and what makes you feel empowered. Another tip for being confident is letting go of perfectionism. And this is something that I've struggled with because I've been a perfectionist like all of my life. Even filming these videos, I want them to be perfect, and I'm just accepting that they're not, and that's a-okay. And I'm gonna be honest, me putting myself out there and just letting myself be seen, no matter if it's perfect or not, has increased my confidence a lot. I'm a lot more comfortable on camera. I'm a lot more comfortable stating my opinion. I'm a lot more comfortable speaking my truth and standing on it. I don't need anyone to agree with what I'm saying, but I do need respect. And I'm going to say what I want to say, and nobody's going to stop me. Allowing yourself to be imperfect increases your confidence because nobody's perfect. We're all human. We all make mistakes. Like I said earlier, we all have insecurities. We're allowed to be imperfect. And the quicker you accept that, the more your confidence will increase because you're not putting yourself under a microscope saying, oh, I have to be this perfect way in order to be confident or not have any insecurities. And that's simply not true. Another way to increase your confidence is by having discipline. For example, if you say, I'm going to accomplish this goal, or I'm going to work out 3 times a week, and then doing that, having that accountability and discipline for yourself shoots up your confidence like no other. Because it's like, yeah, I did do what I was going to say because I am that person. I'm that girl or guy, if you're watching. Like, I hold myself to a very high standard. So that puts you up here. Not a loser who just, oh yeah, I'm going to do that one day. No, you did it now. You did it today. You did it consistently. Being someone of your word and being reliable breeds that trust. And again, that accountability, that discipline, it really shapes your character and it makes you feel untouchable, to be honest. Another way to be confident is to stop comparing yourself to other people. Once you realize that everyone is on their own path, everyone's on their own life, you realize comparison really, there's no point to comparison. If someone wants to become an astronaut, good for them. I don't want to become an astronaut, so I'm not going to compare myself to that person. A lot of people who are very insecure often use comparison to try to make themselves more quote unquote confident, even though that's not how that works. People who are really confident don't need to compare themselves to other people because they know, 1, they have enough going on for themselves. 2, all of that energy that they're using directed towards other people will go towards them and make them a better person. And no one's saying you need to be exactly where you want to in life to be confident, but everyone's in their own lane and there's no use in comparing yourself to anyone. It's really stupid, honestly. Another way to increase your confidence is to identify your triggers and identify your insecurities. Once you realize what's triggering you and what makes you feel insecure, you can kind of reevaluate what you need to do in order to limit those triggers or insecurities. For example, I know I referenced, maybe seeing somebody with your body type on your TikTok feed or your Instagram feed, and it's making you insecure, or it's giving you like that trigger, that gut feeling like, oh, I don't like this because this person looks better than I do, or this person has my dream body. And yes, like I said, if someone is triggering you to that extent on social media, like I said, curate your feed to remove that. So this way you're not constantly comparing yourself. However, you can use that trigger and that feeling to really sit with yourself and see, why do I feel this way? And how can I stop feeling this way? People shouldn't have that much power over you, especially if they're simply existing. So with that example, we can say, okay, well, this person has my dream body type. Okay, so what are you doing to get your dream body type? Are you in the gym? Are you eating right? Are you tracking your food? Probably not, because if you were, that might be motivation that you're getting closer to where you need to be or where you want to be. But if you're stuffing your face with junk food on the couch, never working out, and you're just scrolling all day, of course that's not going to make you confident. That's going to make you feel very insecure. So your trigger might be, I feel lazy, I feel unworthy. And then once you sit with that and you're like, okay, so what's the action? The action to get rid of this feeling is to do something about it. Obviously, that's the action. But it would be, okay, to get to where I want to be, I need to spend less time on social media. I need to be accountable with my gym routine. I need to eat better. And there are small actionable steps you can take to get to your goal. And once you start taking those steps, even if you're not where you want to be, but if you're consistently working towards your goal, and we'll use the goal of your dream body, when you're consistently taking steps to work towards your goal, you're eating better, you're moving more, you're spending less time comparing yourself, ultimately that's going to increase your confidence. And it goes back to what I was saying about doing what you say you're going to do. I'm going to get my dream body. So I'm going to do this step, this step, this step. And doing these steps over and over again, it just makes your confidence shoot up. So ultimately, the first step for building confidence is doing that internal work. And these are just a few examples of internal work. There might be more that you need to do to increase your self-confidence in here before you start focusing on the external confidence. But here are some things you can do to feel more confident externally. So obviously, taking care of yourself externally can make you feel more confident. This can be a self-care routine. This can be implementing a new face routine, a new hair routine, changing your hair up. I know I like to change my hair up. If you're into makeup, maybe just putting on makeup more. But I would be careful with this one because I personally believe that you should feel confident without makeup first before utilizing makeup, because then makeup can be something that you use to hide instead of using to enhance. Because I know I'm a baddie with or without makeup. With makeup, but without makeup, I'm still a cutie pie. Maybe finding a new style that suits you. Maybe you have like old clothes or you haven't really updated your style in some years. Maybe just go to the store and you don't even have to spend a bunch of money. Go to a thrift store, order on Poshmark, find some old stuff on eBay, Facebook Marketplace. Nothing ever has to be expensive for you to be confident on the outside. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on yourself. You don't need like fillers. You don't need plastic surgery. I know a lot of our society tries to push that you need these things to be beautiful. You don't need a BBL. You don't need full lips. Yes, I do have full lips because that's how I was born, but I don't need fillers. I don't need my cheeks done. I don't need Botox. You don't either. You're beautiful with or without that. And even if you do have all that, that's still not going to fix your confidence. Like I stated earlier, confidence comes from within. So you can fix all of these things externally, but that's not going to fix what's inside. So once you fix what's inside, then you can focus on the outside to help enhance. Like I said, with the makeup. Makeup is used to enhance our beauty, not to hide any insecurity. So I digress. If we're focusing on external beauty, like I said, internal first, then external. But externally, some things we can do, focusing on our appearance. Getting your nails done makes you feel like a baddie. Go get your nails done. So you can walk into the office and be like nobody got nothing on me. Whatever it is externally that makes you like feel like that girl or that guy, for my guys who are watching, whatever it is externally that makes you just feel enhanced, again, external enhanced, then do it. I know for me, working out also makes me feel confident because one, just to move your body and to feel stronger. Like I like to do weightlifting, sometimes Pilates, and then some cardio, but just moving your body and like seeing physical results also makes me feel confident. The feeling of confidence starts from inward because I feel strong, I feel capable, and then seeing it outward, seeing the physical results, even before I see it, I know that I'm, again, doing what I say I'm going to do. I'm holding myself accountable. I'm putting myself first. I feel healthy. I feel radiant. All of these things help me glow on the outside because I'm feeling it inward, but it's being done outward, if that makes sense. But those are some things that just help me feel confident. I would love to hear what helps you feel confident. I know I kind of went on a bit of a tangent, but but thank you for listening. And this is my first official long form YouTube video. So until next time, again, I'm just a girl, not a guru, and thank you for watching.